children, welcome to NEET World. This is Narayani, I am your foundation biology educator. So in previous class we discussed about the what is a useful and harmful about all the categories of the microorganisms. So except viruses we all discussed everything about the bacteria and fungi, algae and protozoa. So in this session we are going to discuss about the nitrogen cycle from the same chapter of the microorganisms friend and foe, and how it is the nitrogen cycle is happening. We will discuss what is the importance of the nitrogen cycle. We will discuss in this video. Before going to start the session, children, I would like to announce very important news for you children. We are starting the summer camp course after every 15 days. The first batch is already started and the next batch is going to start after 15 days. So children, please enroll this summer camp foundation course, and in this 15 days what we are going to cover is, especially the 10 days we cover the concepts, core concepts of the basic level of subjects of physics, chemistry, biology and mathematics, which are very important to the for the examinations of NEET and JEE examinations. What types of tricks you have to follow to get out the qualify the competitive examinations, right. So we will deal with the 10 basic core concepts with the help of digital panel, and the 2 days will be the activity based learning will be there, and 1 day the core concepts will recap by conducting the quizzes for you. So thereby you will easily remind by keeping the quizzes, and we will provide you the gifts for it. Then you will able to learn more in a quick way. And coming to the after 12 days, 13th day will be the quiz, and 14th day will be the we will keep you the all concepts we covered, especially from the basics. We will give you the test, cumulative test of all subjects we will provide. Then you can check your efficiency, how much you improved from the previous. Okay, this summer camp course will especially to the students of upcoming students of 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th, and it will be very helpful to who want to pursue their careers as doctors, engineers with the exams of NEET and JEE, right. So we will the core concepts will be covered based on those examinations, and last day of the 15th day we will provide a career guidance and motivation. Children, if you don't know the path, so how you can go? If you have a dream but you don't know how to go, what kind of paths you choose, right, like that. So here the expert faculty, you provided the career guidance for each and every student, and we will provide you doubt clearing sessions, one-on-one interactions. So it is very helpful to you. For every 15 days we are going to conduct the foundation course for you children. So please enroll this course. If you want to join with our classes, please down scrolling number is there, no children, contact with that number. Then you will able to then we will give you the access to the classes by the online. If it is offline also and online also. For offline people, you can happily come to our institute name called NEET World, present in Hyderabad, Narayanguda near metro station. Coming to the online people who want to join through online, we have the app name called MedWorld. So in that MedWorld we will give you access for your children. Especially the first 1 week classes are absolutely free children. You do not have to pay 1 rupee also. You can happily join and understand the concepts. If you like it, you can join our summer camp course, and we will provide you we will provide the scholarship test also. So you will increase your efficiency as by increasing your knowledge than previous. So it is very helpful to the who are upcoming students of 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th. So if you want to join through online, if you want to know about the details of how to join in online and all that, down scrolling number is there, children. Please contact with that number. Then we will give you the access of the classes in the NEET World, NEET World classes, and we will give you access mainly in the MedWorld app. In our app name is called MedWorld children. So this is about the information of the summer camp foundation course from we are offering the summer camp from the institute of our institute NEET World. So this is about, if any queries, please contact with the scrolling number. So before we now we will start this session children. So see here, we are discussing about today the nitrogen cycle from the chapter of microorganisms friend and foe. So why nitrogen? How much where the nitrogen is available? right? All that we will discuss here. 1 minute. Okay. So here we go. Okay. So what is nitrogen? Right? What is nitrogen? Where the nitrogen is available. So what is nitrogen? Where the nitrogen will be there. So nitrogen is a gaseous, right? It is present in air along with the carbon dioxide, oxygen, with that nitrogen will be present. Nitrogen is also present. So among of all, the nitrogen have it present in the atmosphere overall 78%. Overall 78% of nitrogen is present in the atmosphere. So is we can directly respire nitrogen? No, we don't have that mechanism. So but nitrogen is actually, this nitrogen is useful for us. Is the nitrogen is it is required for plants or not? Animals or not? Of course, plants also require nitrogen, animals also require nitrogen. Why these plants and animals require nitrogen? As it is 78% present in the atmosphere, we can't able to respire. Then it is not required for us? That is absolutely no. The nitrogen is required for us, but we should not take directly, because that mechanism is not present in our body. In plants also, the mechanism is not there to directly take the nitrogen itself. So but some plants have the mechanism, to fix the nitrogen from the atmosphere. So how they can fix, we will study in this session. So if the nitrogen is present in atmosphere almost 78%, almost 78% on the atmosphere, right? So from the atmosphere, then 78% is present in is nitrogen. So besides the oxygen and carbon dioxide, it requires for both plants also, animals also. Is the animals have the mechanism to utilize the nitrogen directly? No. The answer is no. For the plants, they can utilize directly? No. The plants also cannot directly utilize the nitrogen. But how they can utilize? Some plants like leguminous plants can ability to fix the nitrogen. Ability to fix nitrogen with the help of the bacteria. Here the mutual benefit of two organisms will be there, that we call symbiosis. Symbiosis. Actually, why we require nitrogen? For what purpose we require nitrogen? So nitrogen is required for nucleic acids, to synthesis of nucleic acids, to synthesis nucleic acids like DNA and RNA, proteins, amino acids, to preparation of all these nitrogen is required. To preparation of all these nitrogen is required. So in the cell, the main nucleus is have the genetic information in the form of DNA. To have that, to make the DNA, the nitrogen is required. So the nucleic acid is made up of amino acids, it is also required. So the nitrogen is required for that, and whatever in our body makes through protein synthesis will be required for our body. So with the help of the nitrogen only, all these nucleic acids, proteins, amino acids all will be synthesized in our body. So with the help of these are the nitrogen have produced in our body nucleic acids, proteins and amino acids. Plants also need the nitrogen more than plants require more nitrogen. So why plants require nitrogen? As the primary nutrient is nitrogen, right? as the primary required nutrition is nitrogen. It helps to plant grow. It helps to plant growth and development. For the healthy growth and development, nitrogen is required for the plants. So in crop fields, the most likely crops will be require nitrogen is paddy and wheat. Paddy and wheat. And some bacteria also can fix the nitrogen which is present in the soil. So from the soil the plants will intake. Then the plant eaters, we call it as herbivores, right? Herbivores are the plant eaters. The plant eaters we call them as herbivores, plant eaters. So these herbivores require, they get nitrogen by the consumption of plants, right? So from the plants, carnivore will be take the nitrogen indirectly. Carnivores take the nitrogen indirectly. So we also humans also rely mostly on the plant based foods. So we are also taking indirectly the nitrogen. So thereby nitrogen is present in our, the utilization will be happening indirectly in our body, but we don't have any mechanism to directly utilize the nitrogen, but the plants have, bacteria have. With the association of the bacteria, plants can fix the nitrogen in their plant body. So thereby by the consumption of plants the animals get the nitrogen, and by the humans also indirectly we are depending on the food purpose, we depending on the plants, thereby we are utilizing the nitrogen. By utilizing it helps in the synthesis of, what is the synthesis? Synthesis is nothing but production. There will be utilization of nucleic acids. In the nucleic acids the main content is nitrogen. So thereby nitrogen is it is utilizes by our human beings, plants, and for the soil and all that. So why these are we are getting. So why the nitrogen is required, right? So in the atmosphere 78% is nitrogen. So if the utilization by plants, animals as directly or indirectly, humans, animals are require nitrogen, then it will be the the 78% will be decreases, right? So here comes the nitrogen cycle. So what is meant by cycle? Cycle is nothing but the the wheel. Again giving back to the original, where it is comes from, we will give back to the atmosphere. So that is nothing but the nitrogen cycle. So the nitrogen which is utilized from the atmosphere will again give back to the atmosphere only. So this is nothing, then it is important to study the nitrogen cycle, how we are utilizing the nitrogen and how we are giving back to the again to the atmosphere, we will study in this class. So see here children, so thereby what we can say children, so which means nitrogen which is used by the living forms, to carry out the many functions of life. To carry out the many functions of the life, the nitrogen is required. Directly it is mainly required for the nucleic acid synthesis. The king of the cell is nucleus. Nucleus require in nucleus what will have? The genetic information, nothing but DNA, right? The DNA is made up with nitrogen. So nitrogen is required for the DNA and RNA and also proteins, right? So thereby for the life the nitrogen is required. Here the statement is given, nitrogen is used by the life forms to carry out many functions of life. So as we say, what we will say, nitrogen is present in gaseous. Although it is present in gaseous form in the atmosphere, we don't have that much mechanism to utilize it. Then how we will get the nitrogen? So we will get from the plants. We mainly rely on the plants for the food, right? So thereby we are getting the nitrogen. So the process of converting nitrogen into form which it can be used by plants, that we call it as nitrogen fixation. Actually the steps of nitrogen cycle are, the first step is nitrogen cycle. The first step is nitrogen cycle. 1 minute children. So the first step is nitrogen cycle. In cycle is nitrogen fixation. Then again the last step is denitrification. The last step is denitrification. The last step is denitrification. So from the first step and to the last step, it is again what will the nitrogen fixing is happening here. Again we are giving back to the atmosphere through the process of denitrification. The word itself is saying denitrification, which means again we are giving back to the nitrogen to the atmosphere. So plants have the mechanism to ability to fix the nitrogen itself? No. But in the answer is no. But almost not all plants, but some plants like leguminous plants will be there, which having the root nodules. We have also studied in the while crop production and management, we studied that the plants which are ability to fix the nitrogen is leguminous plants, because the plants having the root nodules, in that the rhizobium will be, bacteria will be there, right? So the bacteria which helps in the fixation of nitrogen will be nitrogen happens through the bacteria of rhizobium. The nitrogen fixation happens by the bacteria of rhizobium. So the bacteria have the ability to fix the nitrogen, but in the symbiotic relation of the both organisms, the bacteria is fixing nitrogen in the plant. Thereby we are indirectly rely on the plant food sources, then we are getting the nitrogen. Not only humans, animals also want nitrogen. They have also the cell, right? Animal cells having the, they are having the nucleus. So nucleus have the genetic information is made up of DNA and RNA. To make up the DNA, the nitrogen is also required. So as we say, the nitrogen carry out many functions of life. So here we see, so what is nitrogen? Nitrogen having the 78% from the atmosphere. The whole atmosphere, the 78% which is present in the atmosphere is the most abundant amount gas is present in the atmosphere is nitrogen. Nitrogen is required for the both plants also and animals also. So nitrogen is colorless, it is a colorless and odorless gas. So it makes up 78% of the earth atmosphere is present nitrogen. So essential making proteins, like it makes an essential making proteins of DNA, RNA, nucleic acids, proteins and all that. So it is required for both plants also, animals also. The cells we have in the nucleus, they require the nitrogen. So the steps of the nitrogen cycle is, there are the 5 steps which are involved in the nitrogen cycle. What are they? First one is nitrogen fixation. What is meant by it? The nitrogen is fixing. So the nitrogen is converting into utilizable forms in the first step. So assimilation. What is meant by assimilation? Assimilation is incorporation. Assimilation is incorporation. Incorporation. So in which form it can utilize our body? We call it as incorporation. See, if you have chocolate, so if you want to eat chocolate, which chocolate is made up of? Chocolate is made up of cocoa bean, right? So cocos, you really like to eat the cocos or chocolate? Of course chocolate. Why chocolate only you like to eat chocolate than cocos? Because cocos are not in the form of, to eat. The best example which I can say, it is chocolate only, because we are more likely to eat the chocolate. So when it is utilizable form, when it will take it form, then we will have it. If it is it is not in the form of chocolate, we will eat or not? No, absolutely no. So from the body also, the assimilation, which means in which form you can utilize. It makes, then it incorporates in our body when it is utilizable form. Then nitrogen is converts into utilizable forms. So as a nitrites and nitrites. Okay. So what is meant by ammonification? After the assimilation. So again we have to give the process will give back to the atmosphere, right? So thereby ammonification through the excretion of animals and dead plants, the ammonia is again taking back to the soil. So giving back to the soil. Then ammonia again is converted into the form of nitrates and nitrites. Nitrates and nitrites. So here last process which is giving back to the nitrogen into the atmosphere is denitrification. So then in denitrification, children, the nitrates and nitrites again it takes the form of nitrogen with the help of the bacteria. It again goes back to the atmosphere. In the first step, the nitrogen which is converted into the utilizable form. Then in assimilation, it incorporates the utilized form is incorporates in the plants and animals. And coming to the ammonification, after to again give back to the atmosphere, the ammonification have plays key role. The ammonia compounds through excretion or the dead plants and animals, it will give to the soil ammonia and an ammonium form. Then again the ammonia is converted into the nitrates and nitrites. Then in denitrification, it is again give back to the original form of nitrogen. This is how the 5 steps will be includes in the nitrogen cycle. The first step is nitrogen fixation. What is meant by nitrogen fixation? So we we studied that. So in the nitrogen fixation, it will the nitrogen actual converts into the utilizable form. So in the conversion of nitrogen gas into ammonia and nitrates, so it is carried out by 2 processes. One is lightning process, another one is nitrogen fixing bacteria. So it is a biological fixation, children. So with the help of the lightning also we are fixing the nitrogen. How? So coming to the first one, lightning. So lightning, when the heavy rain falls, the thunderstorms will be there. So in that the lightning have the very high temperatures. They have the very high temperatures. So when the high temperatures are there, the nitrogen is mixing with oxygen. So here it is N is the nitrogen, N2 is the nitrogen, O2 means oxygen. So when these, when the lightning will be there, they both nitrogen and oxygen will be combined and form the oxides of nitrogen. So these oxides with diluted with the rainwater, then it forms the nitric acid. So see here, children, in the lightning process, the nitrogen is combines with the oxygen. It forms the nitric oxide. So this nitric oxide combines with the rainwater. It forms the dilute nitric acid. So this dilute nitric acid, when it is forms, when it is falls onto the alkalis. What are the alkalis? The substance which having the chemical substance that form when it is added with when it is react with the acid, they form salts. What are alkalis, children? Alkalis are nothing but they are the substance. Alkalis are the substance when they react with acids. When they react with acids, they form salts. Right. So when the rainwater, the dilute nitric acid falls onto the alkalis, which they forms the salts. So here then the salts which forms the limestones. These are the examples of that is the exact what happening in the lightning process. In that limestone they will produce the nitrates, Here see the lightning, when the oxides of nitrogen, when the oxygen is combines with, when the nitrogen is combined with oxygen, it forms the nitric oxide. So when the nitric oxide, when it is react with the rainwater, it forms the dilute nitric acid. What is it? HNO3 means dilute nitric acid. When this dilute nitric acid falls onto the alkalis. Alkalis are the what, children? The substance, when they react with acid, they form the salts. So they convert the alkalis into salts, NO3. NO3 means nitrates. Nitrates. So thereby the soil will be rich in nitrates. Then the nitrates will take into the plants. Thereby the plants, by the plant eaters, it will be incorporated into the plant eaters. Then if the plant eaters will be eaten by the carnivores, nothing but the animal eaters, right, flesh eaters. So when they are indirectly getting the nitrogen itself. So in this process, in lightning process, the alkali is forming the nitrates like this. So coming to the another biological classification, we already studied this. It is forms a symbiotic relationship with plants. The bacteria forms the root nodules. 1 minute, children. So see here, the leguminous plants, the ball like structures, we call it as root nodules. In these root nodules, the bacteria name called rhizobium is present. So this bacteria have the ability to fix the nitrogen. It converts the utilizable form and gives to the plant. Thereby, as per the requirement, the plants take the nitrogen, and remaining it is it releases into the soil. So thereby our plants will be, the soil enriched with the nitrogen. Again the nitrogen is utilized by the another plants. So this is what the nitrogen fixation is. Coming to the next step is assimilation. What is meant by assimilation? I already told you, children, assimilation means incorporation. So the incorporation will be occur. So in the nitrogen fixation, the nitrogen converts into utilizable form like nitrates, right. So when the plant eaters eat the plants, it will, what will it will do, the nitrogen which is taken by the plants, eaten by these animals, right. Indirectly it is providing the nitrogen to the plant eaters like herbivores. So if again the herbivores eaten by the carnivores, right. So humans also indirectly rely on the plants for the food purpose. The staple food is paddy and wheat. They want more nitrogen to grow for the healthy growth and development. They require more nitrogen. So these plants require more nitrogen. So when we are taking as a staple food, we are also getting the nitrogen. So the nitrogen is used for making the DNA, RNA, nothing but nucleic acids, and also it helps in the protein synthesis, right. So and the amino acids, nothing but the amino acids, by the help of the amino acids only the DNA and RNA will make, right. So this is how the assimilation will be incorporated in our body. Assimilation is happening. This is how the nitrogen is incorporating in our body. So plants absorb nitrates. From the soil, use them to make proteins and also nucleic acids, amino acids. So animals obtain nitrogen by eating plants. So how they are getting the nitrogen? Animals, humans, they indirectly, they are depending on the food for the plants, like a staple food. So the animals also, the herbivores, plant eaters they have the food of plants more, so thereby indirectly getting the nitrogen itself. So after their incorporating, they again we have to give the back to the atmosphere. So here the third step will be coming, it is a ammonification. So what is meant by ammonification? Ammonification is nothing but the when we incorporate the nitrogen in our body or else by the animals through the excretion have more amount of ammonia. That more amount of ammonia will, the ammonium compounds, ammonium compounds are nothing but the forms of nitrogen only. So how this ammonia will be happen? So see here, decomposers convert the nitrogen, dead organisms into waste into ammonia, which the plants will die, the animals will die, right? When they have the lots of proteins will be there. The inorganic compounds, see here, the process of conversion of complex organic components like proteins, they convert into ammonia. After the waste of plants, the dead plants, animals, they have the organic compounds like proteins will be there. So they have to break down and convert into ammonia. Those which are doing which organisms doing we are helping to convert like ammonia, they are nothing but bacteria which is helping to convert the these organic compounds like proteins into ammonia. So the bacteria which are involving to convert these organic compounds into ammonia are the Bacillus racemose, Bacillus vulgaris, Actinomycetes. These are the bacteria which helps to convert the organic compounds, to make it simple, to form a ammonia. Ammonium compounds with the help of occurs by bacteria. Which bacteria is involving here? So the bacteria is nothing but Bacillus racemose, Bacillus vulgaris, Actinomycetes. These are the microorganisms which helps in the decompose the the dead waste material, plants, animals, to convert the large to convert the complex organic compounds like proteins into ammonia, is nothing but ammonification. So decomposers convert the nitrogen from dead organisms into waste as ammonia. This process we call it as ammonification. What is meant by ammonification, children? Ammonification is nothing but the converting the complex organic proteins into the ammonium compounds. Thereby it helping to the ammonia. What is the ammonia? Ammonia is nothing but the form of nitrogen only. So after it is not it is not in the form of again get back into the atmosphere. So it have to get back into the atmosphere. Here the fourth process is come nitrification. In the nitrification, the ammonia which is there, no children, the formed ammonia compounds which are present in the, which makes convert the large organic compounds into ammonia. So this ammonia is again get back into the form of nitrates, right? The conversion of ammonium into nitrates and nitrites and nitrates performed by nitrifying bacteria in soil. See, here is the statement they given. See, the ammonia with the help of the bacteria is converted into nitrates. Here don't confuse, children, nitrate is also a form of nitrogen only. So the ammonia which converts into nitrate will be occur with the help of the bacteria only, it converts into nitrates. What are the bacteria involved here? So that bacteria we call it as nitrifying bacteria present in the soil. After the dead plants and animals, they will decompose in the soil only, right? So in the soil the ammonia is converted into nitrates. The ammonia which is converted into nitrates. So nitrates. The ammonia is converted into nitrates with the help of the bacteria. What bacteria we will call children? It is a nitrifying bacteria. What we call children? It is a nitrifying bacteria. So it is performed by the nitrifying bacteria. So see here, this is the ammonia. 2NH3 is the ammonia. NH3 is the ammonia. When it is reacting with oxygen, nothing but in the soil also oxygen is present, no children. So remember like that. The nitrifying bacteria examples are Nitrosococcus, Nitrosomonas. So here they are giving the nitrites. NO2 is nothing but nitrites. At last they are producing nitrates into nitrates. So these nitrates again convert into the nitrogen and get back to the atmosphere. This is the last step, children. So again these nitrites will combine with oxygen in the presence of nitrifying bacteria like Nitrobacteria, Penicillium, right? So they are converted into the nitrates. They are converted into the nitrates. So now these nitrates get back into the atmosphere by the last step called, that step we call it as denitrification. The step we call it as denitrification. Here we see what is the nitrification. Nitrification is nothing but conversion of ammonium into the product of nitrates with the help of the nitrifying bacteria. What is the bacteria here involves? Nitrosococcus, Nitrosomonas. So here, and the Nitrobacter and Penicillium with the help of these microorganisms will get back into the nitrites. So now it have to come back to the atmosphere, no? So here the last term comes denitrification. There in the step of denitrification, children. So bacteria convert nitrates which are formed by the nitrification. These forms formed by the nitrification. The nitrates get back to the atmosphere gas. How it will return? It is also with the help of the bacteria only. It returns nitrogen into the atmosphere. So the common bacteria which involves to conversion of nitrates into nitrogen gas are, see, the common bacteria causing denitrification are Pseudomonas, Theobacillus, Micrococcus. These are the bacteria which mainly involves in the conversion of nitrates into nitrogen gas. Then how much the plants require the nitrates, they will observe. Again they are coming back to the nitrogen with the help of the bacteria called Pseudomonas, Theobacillus, Micrococcus. So here the summary I will say once again, children. So the first 5 steps is nitrogen fixation. Nitrogen fixation. In nitrogen fixation, the nitrogen converts into nitrates. These nitrates are in the utilizable form. We can take the nitrogen directly. We don't have that mechanism. The bacteria have and some plants have. Some plants like leguminous plants have. In that they have they are making the symbiotic association with the bacteria. They are making the utilizable form. They take the nitrogen into utilizable form as nitrates. When these nitrates incorporated with that process, we call it as assimilation. The incorporation of nitrogen forms, we call it as assimilation. In the assimilation, the body incorporates the nitrates and make it as usable forms, and they help in making the synthesis of nucleic acids, proteins and amino acids, and with this process called assimilation. After assimilation, what will happen, children? Ammonification. In ammonification, the excretion and the dead plants after completing the lifespan of plants, animals, they again get back into the soil, right, children? So in that soil they convert the excretion is the excretion of animals having the more amount of ammonia. Ammonia is nothing but the form of nitrogen only. So this ammonia is again forms the nitrates. This step is called ammonification is making the ammonium compounds. When the dead organic, when the plants and animals, they have very complex organic compounds will be like proteins will be there. They broke down into ammonia with the help of the bacteria. Then again it forms the nitrates. That step is called nitrification. Nitrification. In the nitrification also the form compound is nitrates. Again these nitrates get back into the atmosphere. That step we call it as denitrification. It is also occurs by the nitrates which converts into the nitrogen with the help of the bacteria only. What is our bacteria, children? Pseudomonas, Thiobacillus, Micrococcus. These are the bacteria which involves in the conversion of nitrates into nitrogen gas. This is how again the nitrogen is get back into the atmosphere. So again that is why the stable maintaining of nitrogen as 78% is present in atmosphere. This is how the stability maintains by the nitrogen cycle. So here I given the beautiful picture here, children. So see here, the first step is nitrogen fixation. The first step is 1 minute, children. Okay. The first step is nitrogen fixation. In nitrogen fixation, what will happen, children? In the nitrogen fixation, the nitrogen converts into nitrates. The nitrogen converts into nitrates. So the nitrogen fixation happen by the lightning also, and also nitrogen fixed by the biological form, by directly fixing by the plants like leguminous plants. What are the examples of leguminous plants, children? Pea plants, groundnut plants are the best examples of the leguminous plants. They have the association with the bacteria in the root nodules, in the roots. They form the ball like structures, we call it as nodules. In that rhizobium bacteria will be there. So by fixing the bacteria and the lightning process, the nitrogen which is converted into the nitrates, which is converted into the nitrates. Here the nitrates again, it is incorporated. The assimilation will be done. The process of assimilation will be done. So how by the utilizable form, the body of plants and animals will take it. So is the animals directly consuming the nitrates? No. With the help of by the plants. For the food purpose, we mainly depend on the plants, right? Thereby we are getting the nitrates indirectly. So this is how that is how the assimilation is happening in our body. After that, through excretion, we are releasing through the excretion, and the dead organic matter will convert into the ammonia. Ammonium compounds. Ammonium compounds is nothing but the nitrogen form only. Which bacteria, how the nitrates are converted into the ammonium. So the dead by the decomposing of plants, animals, when their life cycle is completed, they are converted into the ammonium compounds with the help of the bacteria. Again this ammonium compounds, again what they will do, children? So by the decomposition, again they are forming the ammonium compounds. Then the process of nitrification will happen. It will happens. In the nitrification, what will happen? Again get back into the ammonia, again get back into the form of nitrites. Again get back into the form of nitrates, NO3. And again if the plants require, the plants will observe the nitrates. Then if not, the denitrification will happen. Not if it is present, plants also take the nitrates, or else it will be happen like in the same way. The plants also observe nitrates and getting back into the atmosphere with the help of the denitrifying bacteria. This is how the nitrogen is again goes back into the atmosphere. So this is what today's session, children. So here the nitrogen, in the nitrogen fixation, it is converts into the nitrates by the process of lightning, and also by the help of lightning and biological fixation. The biological fixation is nothing but the plants are association with the bacteria ability to fix the nitrogen. So with the help of these, nitrogen is converted into nitrates. Then the process of assimilation occurs. Assimilation means incorporation and makes the nucleic acids, and DNA, RNA will be produced with the help of the assimilation. In which form it will take, that utilizable from the plants and animals will take. Animals does not directly take the nitrogen, does not take the nitrogen. After that assimilation, ammonification will happen. In ammonification, the plant waste material, dead plants, from this, when they break down, they form the ammonium compounds. That is why we say the conversion of organic compounds like proteins into ammonium compounds is nothing but the ammonification. After the ammonification, nitrification will be happen. In nitrification, what will be turns? The ammonia converts into in nitrification, the ammonia converts into nitrates, again in the form of nitrates, if with the help of the bacteria only. So in the denitrification, these nitrates again convert into the nitrogen gas, with the help of the bacteria. That bacteria we call it as denitrifying bacteria. If which ammonia is converts into the nitrates, that bacteria which involves that bacteria we call it as nitrifying bacteria. So again it get back to the atmosphere. This is what the nitrogen cycle is, children. So this is what about the today's session. So let's meet in the tomorrow session. So before winding up the class, children, I would like to once again I will give you the information about the summer camp course of our institute name called NEET World, present in Narayanguda, Hyderabad. We are providing 15 days course of summer camp course. It is very useful. In those 15 days we are categorized. 10 days we are we will explain you the core concepts from the basic level to the higher level in an understandable way. By using the digital panel, we are creating the wonderful videos to get you understand in detailed way from the basics to the higher level. In the whatever we in 10 days we are in 10 days what we are teaching you, we will keep you the one day as a quiz and one day as a cumulative test, and in that 15 days, in 2 days we learn the activity based learning. So to solve the case based questions for the CBSE students, the activity learning is very important. And coming to the last day of the 15th day, we are providing the career guidance program with the expert faculty. We are giving the what you are to achieve your goals, what kind of you have to choose the path, so what kind of exams you can write, so in which field you are more interested in. So we will give you what path you to decide to achieve your goals. We will guide you. So one-on-one doubt interactions will be cleared out. So and also the main subjects we are covered by is physics, biology, mathematics and chemistry. So it is specially for the upcoming students of 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th. So it is very useful for you children. Please join this course, enroll this course, because it is first 1 week classes are absolutely free. There is no 1 rupee also you can pay. So it is very useful. So let's join in our institute name called NEET World. It is either offline or online. So who want to join through online, children? Down scrolling number is there, no children? Please contact with that number with us. Thereby we will give you the access to you to listen the classes. So this is about the today's session. Let's meet in the tomorrow session. Please subscribe and comment in the comment section if you have any doubts. Thank you.